time for Baseball with the Bard.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Great to see all of you. I'm going to say it, Tyler, the day after WrestleMania Night 1. Exciting
That's how
here.
we're marking it.
That's how we're marking today, is the day after WrestleMania Night 1. I know this isn't a wrestling show, but I have to give props to...
But if you know anything about us...
Yeah, we bring wrestling into
everything.
Everything is wrestling. Wrestling is life. I have to give props to 4 people, 2 being Seth Rollins and Cesaro. Amazing match. I know you're not wrestling fans if you're listening to this show, more than likely, but I just got to say it. And then Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, the first 2 black women to main event at WrestleMania. Impressive stuff. Amazing match.
And they put on a 4.5-star match.
Amazing matches. Amazing match.
Yeah.
I was
Very
so
good
excited about that. But this is called Baseball with the Bard. I'm your host, Noah Cross, joined by my buddy Tyler Bard, represented by his emote there from his Twitch stream. Tyler, how you doing?
I'm doing very good. No camera today. Sorry about that. But we are back from last week. Was it last week I wasn't here? Or we weren't here because of Easter last week?
It was Easter.
And then the week before that, I had gotten my first vaccine.
Yes. We hope everyone had a good Easter holiday last weekend. Got to see your families and all that good stuff. And as a reminder, we're always streaming on Facebook, on YouTube at Bard and Cross Entertainment, and on Twitch at TBard5195. Give that a follow. You can maybe gift a sub. I'm always in there gifting subs to people, so you got to go watch.
Maybe you'll be the one.
You could be one I gift this up to.
Using those emotes, you know?
You got to use them. They're important stuff. Speaking of important stuff, the Red Sox got a big blow this week with an MLB COVID update as J.D. Martinez has been put on the MLB COVID list. That is a big loss to both teams, and we'll talk more in depth about J.D., but I can say he's swinging a .433 average with 2 home runs already in the first week and a half of play. That's a big loss for the Red Sox. That's a big loss.
Someone who you do not want to be out of the lineup for very long. And I don't think he officially has been diagnosed with COVID.
No.
But he had soreness and stuffiness. Yeah. So they took him out of the lineup for safety precautions and had him stay away from the team. So hopefully we'll see him back by maybe next weekend or even earlier than that.
And a similar thing happened to the Nationals starting pitcher Patrick Corbin, who was also put on the MLB COVID list. It was a similar situation where he didn't officially test positive. He just had symptoms and so on. And they're referring to it as COVID protocol, as similar as you would hear to like concussion protocol. They've sort of come up with a protocol that they go through if somebody isn't feeling well or whatever else, just to make sure the team stays healthy and so on. So that's just
a cautionary tale.
Exactly. And honestly, after... look what happened in the NBA. Look what happened in
look at the MLB last year.
The MLB last year and the NFL. They don't want to take any chances. All the organizations are doing that. All the leagues, I should say, are doing that.
That's the right choice.
Absolutely. Kudos to them. We got to keep our guys healthy so they can get on the field and play for us. Great to see you in the chat there using he's using an emote, folks. You got to do it.
That's Mr. Dylan, by the way, if you didn't know that.
Oh, that's Dylan. Hey, Dylan. I didn't recognize
Dylan, who constantly will appear on the Crossum Wrestling Entertainment podcast. So if you've ever tuned in there, that is Dylan himself on Twitch. Make sure you get over to Twitch and you can be a part of the conversation too.
Yeah, you can. All right. With that being said, the conversation that we've all been having over the last 2 days is that the Padres have thrown the first no-hitter in franchise history. Joe Musgrove, congratulations. I will applaud. And I'll say this. I watched the last inning of that game. Well, so unreal finish to the game. He had the curveball all night, absolutely killed it. He was executing pitches all up until the final pitch. 10 strikeouts, only 112 pitches, dude. That's
incredible.
Gem. That's like 112 pitches is like, all right, I'm like, give me 4 days. Like,
I've got the last out for everyone to see right here. So if you missed it, look at this.
Ground ball to shortstop. Kim will go to first. The San Diego Padres get their first no-hitter in the history of the franchise. And it belongs to San Diego's own Joe Musgrove, sending the Friar Faithful into a frenzy.
Such an awesome moment, man. And I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You're a baseball fan, right? Because you know how MLB, they always send out the notification. There's like, no-hitter alert or no-hitter watch, which that's typically followed up with like 5 minutes later, it's followed up with, "Oh, no hitters blown." Like, and I'm like, you fuckers, like,
You could just stop talking about it,
exactly. So I get that notification from them, and I'm like, "Oh crap, they're gonna blow up for this guy." And
They
I'm like,
should just hint about it. They should be like, "Just
Yes.
hey guys, it's a good game right now in San Diego. Turn it on."
You should really check this game out. But I usually I would go right to it. Like I would try and find a stream and immediately, and then I would be like, and then I would get disappointed. So I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm waiting. I wait till the bottom of the ninth, or whatever, the top of the bottom of the ninth it was, I think. And I went and I watched the last inning there. And as a baseball fan, I'm not a Padres fan at all. Joe Musgrove is awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't have any reason to care. But I was clenching every bone in my body. Like, come on, get these 3 outs. Get these Courtney. Get these 3 outs. I really was excited for him. I was excited for the Padres. You want to see history, like it doesn't matter who they're playing. You want to see.
Yeah,
history.
I get goosebumps every damn time I watch one of these no hitters. It's just so cool. And the announcer himself, Don Orsillo, just made it so much better. I think that's the 3rd no hitter he's been able to call in his entire career. He in one of his very first year with the Red Sox, he got to call Clay Buchholz no hitter at Fenway Park. So he's had quite the honor over his career to call him, and just his voice, his excitement. He's someone I model my announcing and gameplay after.
That's awesome. And another piece of history that came with that no hitter is the catcher who was behind the plate, Victor Caratini is his name.
Oh yeah.
This is the 2nd no hitter he's caught in 2 consecutive seasons. First person
How cool is that?
ever do so. He did it last year when he was on the Cubs. I'm trying to find the name of the pitcher. Joe Musgrove for the Padres, Globe Life. Alec Mills threw that for the Cubs in 2020, and Victor Cartonini also caught that no-hitter. So first catcher ever to catch back-to-back no-hitters in back-to-back seasons. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
He needs to be careful swimming in. He needs to be careful swimming in oceans. Because he's gonna get attacked by a shark or something. That's just crazy. Lightning struck twice for him, so that's awesome. But congratulations to Joe Musgrove. Congratulations to the Padres. So awesome for you guys. I'm really excited to see what goes on, obviously, the rest of the season. But we're gonna jump over to another team in the National League.
Oh dear God, I'm just cringing thinking about this next category. It just hurts me.
Jacob DeGrom isn't getting any help from the Mets at all. It's really hard to watch because if you ask me and a lot of other people, Jacob DeGrom's probably the best pitcher in baseball. I say probably because I don't know if I like to put him over Garrett Cole, but he probably is. Mets finally got to open up against the Phillies after having an opening series. Their original opening series against the Nationals canceled due to COVID. The opener versus the Phillies ended in 5-3 in favor of Philadelphia. DeGrom pitched 6 innings of shutout ball and was lined up for the win, only for the Mets bullpen to blow the lead. You ready for this? An MLB record 33rd time in DeGrom's career, where he would give the Mets bullpen a lead and they would blow it, costing him the victory. On yesterday, DeGrom would pitch 8 innings of 1-run ball, striking out 14 for the Mets to lose 3-0.
Imagine. End up getting a loss when you have that many strikeouts in a game and you've pitched a near gem and your team can't even put one abysmal run on the board. You lost 3-0.
Yeah, it's honestly it's just disappointing. If you're a Mets fan, obviously it's disappointing for you, but there was so much going into this season for the Mets, right? Because they got Lindor. They have all of these great guys. They have Alonso. They have Nimmo. They have DeGrom. They have Stroman. So many people who should be helping them win so many games. And yet, this is what's happening. Like DeGrom
Brandon Nimmo thinks he can do these things, but he just can't.
Okay, you know what? Yeah. Thank you for tuning in to Baseball with the Bard today.
Come on. I thought it was pretty good. All right, you're right. Thank you for tuning in to Baseball with the Bard. Oh man, good times. Minor league baseball. Am I right?
It wasn't even. Oh, it was because they were the
Yeah, because we used to heckle. For those of you who aren't in on the joke, we used to go watch the New Britain Rockcats all the time, and Brandon Nimmo was the right fielder for the Mets minor league team, and Noah and I always sat in right field, and specifically me, I would heckle the holy hell out of Brandon Nimmo. And I'm assuming this with Courtney. Oh, Courtney's not commenting. It is AJ and King of the Axiom on Twitch right now. But Courtney and I were at Brandon Nimmo's debut game, and it was at Fenway Park. How convenient was that? And we were sitting in right field, and I got to heckle him all over again. Oh, it was good stuff.
That's messed up.
No, it's not messed up. It's hilarious. And he heard me. He was like, I know that voice.
Speaking of like heckling in right field, I have a story that I'll talk about when we get to Kluber's first start, which we'll talk about during the Yankees segment. But we have a comment here. There should be zero Mets fans in the world now. Mets are the biggest underachievers always. And honestly, it's sad to say. And I have a little note here on the script. Same old Mets.
Yeah.
Same old.
Honestly, it's literally on the script.
Yep. Everyone leading into this season was, the Mets, they're gonna kill it. They got Lindor now, and this and that, and their manager, and blah blah blah, and Steve Cohen's an owner. Same old Mets. Literally, absolutely nothing has changed. Absolutely,
it's unfortunate. The atmosphere has changed. That team is a lot of fun, so I'll give them that. The atmosphere has changed. These guys look like they are ready to have some fun this season. I think they just need to gel a little bit, and they should be better. But Axiom is pretty spot on there, that there should be zero Mets fans in the world now because they've been let down so many damn times.
Yeah, it's actually a problem. It's sad to see. I mean, I have friends who are Mets fans. I have my friend Evan. I want to get Evan on the show, actually. Evan, if you're listening, I know Evan listens to us. He was I went to school with him. Huge Mets fan, big baseball brain, hates the Dodgers. So you'd love him.
I also hate the Dodgers.
That's what I said. You and him would get along great. No, we'll see if we can have Evan on because he's a big Mets fan. I want to get the Mets perspective on what's going on. So we'll cover the Mets a little bit more in depth next week because why not?
Absolutely.
So we talked about this before. We talked about this. We're going to talk about it until it's gone, to be honest.
Yeah, we're going to literally drive this point into the ground until MLB gets sick of people talking about it.
This runner on second base, extra innings crap is absolutely ridiculous. I during the COVID shortened season, it made sense, right? We wanted to get the guys out of there, because it was a shortened season. It was a weird time. It was fine. Let's just do it, get it over with. They didn't do it in the postseason, thank God, because that would have just been a fucking disaster. But it's already affected multiple games this season. The Yankees already have had it happen twice, and they played 9 baseball games. 9.
Can I just address this comment really quick from Dylan? It says speeds up the games, though. I understand it speeds up the games by like 2 minutes. Well, like if the goal of the MLB is to speed up the games, let's not wait till extra innings to do it. What are we waiting on the extra innings to do the speeding up of the game?
That and I have 2 arguments for that. One is sometimes it doesn't actually speed up the game because the Red Sox have had this happen this week.
We went into the 12th inning.
We went to the 12th inning because there's already a runner on second fucking base.
Right.
Yeah. Look what the Yankees did. The first time it happened to the Yankees, they were like, let's see if we can just drive this run in. They couldn't. They lost. I was pissed, obviously, because the pitcher came out of the bullpen, right? And the reliever, and there's a guy on second already in the top of the 10th, right? He lets up a double to start off the inning. Guy hits a double, right? Yep. One bad pitch of the inning. The opponent score a run. He shuts down the rest of the inning. And he gets the loss.
Yep.
It's fucking stupid. That is absolutely ludicrous.
It's horrible.
And my other argument is, so we want to speed up the games, right? You want to make things go faster. You want to get things moving quicker. And I brought this to the security guard at the school I work at because he's a big football fan. I was like, hey, bud, listen. So this whole baseball rule, we were talking about that. And I said, that's no different than if in the NFL, they said, we want to speed up games. If we go to overtime, each team's going to start in the red zone. Because they're going to be closer to be able to score.
I know you don't realize the irony of that statement.
No. I know it's harder to score in the red zone.
No, that's not even it, Noah. What? They do that in college football.
Oh my fucking gosh! Oh gosh. All right.
Yep.
I'm serious
That's
this time.
hilarious.
That's all for baseball with the Bard, folks. No.
Oh, fuck. Well, I'm not on the video. Hold on.
I didn't see that. Well, I don't watch college football, nor do I watch NFL that much. This is like the playoffs, but when it comes to overtime, takes forever, and they even still start in the red zone
because college football offenses are so ridiculously creative that they. Have you ever watched a college football game? They score every 2 minutes. It's insane how much scoring happens.
I'll never be the one. I know for a fact Tyler will never be the one, and most people we know will never be the ones to say, "Oh, man, this baseball game needs to be over."
Right? No bonus baseball, baby.
Thank you. Like every time we're at a game, we're like, "Oh, I hope the
bonus baseball."
And, if there's a tie game in the 9th, we're psyched. It's like we have work tomorrow, but we don't care. Like, let's go.
This is why we go to Saturday games.
We sat at the. How long was the Rockets last game?
Very last game went 16 innings,
and we sat there for every single.
And we got to see the what the hell was the catcher's name? Hit a walk-off home run in their very last game.
I can't remember his name.
He's in the league now. I can't remember.
Yeah,
he played for the Mariners. But yeah,
I can't remember his name. But always a blast. No, I disagree, Dylan. I disagree. I'm sorry. If there's extra innings, even in a game I'm sitting watching on my couch, I'm gonna watch it.
I agree. I could watch baseball at all times
all day.
Of the day.
Honestly, dude, I'm like, even when the Yankees got slaughtered the last couple days, which we'll talk about later.
No, we're getting there. Don't you worry.
I just like to watch. I want to see the game, and even if I'm putting it on in the background, because it's baseball. Sometimes they're slow games, but I won't watch at home unless I like the matchup. That's also fair, right? Like I'll watch Yankees games. I watch Sox games depending on who they're playing, so that makes sense. So it just depends on what's going on. But I hate the rule. I know Tyler hates the rule. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's silly. We'll jump into that.
Sorry.
To me, it's just silly. In all honesty, like it's not sure it makes me mad, but it just feels arcadey. It almost feels like something like my middle schoolers who are playing kickball. Like I would be like, "Oh, let's do this because it's
let's
exciting."
Make a fake rule,
or
right?
In gym class, where the teacher wants to spice things up, they're like, "Let's do this." Like that's what it feels like. But someone who gets paid millions of dollars actually thought of that. And the worst part is other people said it was a good idea. Like that's what worries me more.
Yeah, so, no, it's ridiculous. I hope they get rid of it because
of all of them, that
ridiculous.
One needs to go. Like, and let's get the universal DH in here, and then let's move on now.
Because if we get the universal DH in here, we can get guys like this.
Hell yes, Werner Mercedes. Which before the season started, I didn't even know who this was.
No, me neither.
And we watch a lot of baseball. All right,
right.
And you know how much I'm obsessed with baseball. Dude, one hell of a ball player. This 28-year-old catcher for the White Sox has been absolutely slugging in the first week and a half of the season. He has a batting average of .556, two home runs, and an OPS of 1,460.
That is insanity. If you guys didn't see this guy play this last week and a half, you are missing out. That home run he hit, you wrote it here. He holds the record now for the longest home run in 2021 with a 485-foot homer on Thursday. Take a look at this.
2-1 to Mercedes. And your meat tattoos this ball. Oh, where's it going to land? Bring him home. Welcome to Chicago. 73.
His second home run of the year. An introduction to the home folks. Werner Mercedes.
Do you see that leg kick? Do you see that leg? Could you play that one more time? Watch the leg kick, everyone. Watch his leg kick.
Watch
how high he goes.
2-1 to Mercedes. And your meat.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh. I literally. So that's the farthest of the season to this point. Stanton had the lead at 471 with a homer he hit on Monday, but he just passed him obviously on Thursday, as we said. Good Lord, that home run. I love watching those because everybody, there wasn't a single person in the park who didn't know he just absolutely cranked that ball.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Like even the picture is just fuck. Like oh man.
Oh man, that was an incredible home run. And hello to the Redhead Gaming 617. Also watching over on Twitch. See everyone? Look at all these people playing around on Twitch. You guys can join the conversation if you listen to us on Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you find your podcast. Join us on Twitch. Be a part of the conversation live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Nice. Thank you for that. With that being said, if you don't have Werner Mercedes on your fantasy squads, you need to go look because a lot of people were sleeping on him. I'm on 2 fantasies. One of them, someone already took him because they're paying attention. The other one, no one was paying attention, and I was, so I picked him up, and he's been helping me a lot. So
which one was paying attention? Was it our league or?
Yeah, our league was paying attention. Damn it! Oops. That was, of course. Well, yeah. It makes sense.
We got a bunch of tryhards. It's fine.
We do. It's all right though. With that being said, Tyler, when did you want to do ads, by the way? I didn't ask.
Yeah, no, I was actually thinking we could talk about ads right now because we're about to get into a lot of Red Sox and Yankees action.
I love it.
With Judge and all that coming up here. So
that means I have to do some type of transition. So
yeah, go ahead. Think it out. Hold on, everyone. Watch the gears turn.
I'm ready. Speaking of hitting home runs, let's hop over to Clovercrest Media, who hits dingers each and every day.
Wow, well done.
Clovercrest Media Group presents a CMG podcast. Keys to the City.
Keys to the city, baby. When you see us, so you know.
Crossed up by Kobe, little flow to Shaq, and then Shaq goes like this, and the rest is history. Pay attention. Don't tell me what to do, devil woman. Speaking of those Lakers, hold on. But I didn't make my. I said Denver's gonna win. Yeah, you did. You said that. There's no other show like that. Clovercrest is doing great things right now.
Streaming everywhere.
Welcome to Ivy League Murders. On this podcast, we focus on cases affiliated with the Ivy League, exploring the darker side of higher education. What happens when genius becomes evil? My name is Sarah Alcorn. I'm a Harvard graduate, and I've been a private investigator since 1999. Join me and longtime crime diva Laura McDonald for Ivy League Murders.
I will get it right one day. Hey, remember how many times you used to do the messages for your voicemail? It goes something like this. What's going on, everyone? Thanks for locking into another episode of I'll Piss You Off Shortly. This is the podcast where we debate everyday issues, pushing your thought process beyond what's normal. The topics discussed here are meant to be intense, promote growth, and at times may have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Me too, a little bit. We may not always agree, and we will more than likely have varied opinions. But with that being said, I can't promise to be your favorite podcaster. Neither do I want to. But I can promise to be transparent, fair, and open-minded. So please, if you think you've got the stamina, passion to debate, analyze, and challenge the normal, please take a number. I promise you, I'll piss you off shortly.
The Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast, presented by Clovercrest Media, is what you AEW fans have been looking for. Noah Cross and Tyler Bard give their take on every week's episode of Dynamite. If you are a massive AEW fan, then it is time to join us every Sunday at noon Eastern Standard Time. Stay.
Drew, he's just casually hitting them in. Here, Drew.
Another one coming in, guys.
Oh, I missed it. Let's push it together, Drew.
Here we go, guys. One coming in hot. Ah!
No, you got that out yourself.
Hold on. Defense.
16.
Defense.
Don't let up.
No! Yeah. All right, guys. 4 at once. Let's go. Get all 4 in.
I'm trying. Okay, those 2 more. Can we get 20, guys? Come on, Drew, 20. 21.
So we won 21-1.
That's just,
man, we bullied them. Fall Guys is a game you can find me playing quite often on the very Twitch channel we are streaming on currently, T-Bard 5195. You can see we've had a lot of people in the chat today joining us. King of the Axiom, the awesome one who is streaming. King of the Axiom, who once in a while is also streaming. Redhead Gaming, who is streaming Minecraft and Call of Duty and even a little bit of Fall Guys. So you can come see all these incredible people if you join us on Twitch.
Absolutely. And getting back to the action, wanted to head over to New York and Aaron Judge. By the way, I disagree with the question mark. That should just be like an exclamation point.
Aaron Judge is injury prone.
Yeah. Judge missed Wednesday's game and Friday's game. Thursday was an off day, so Boone gave him 3 days off in between starts because of soreness in his side. He was back in the lineup on Saturday yesterday, however, where he recorded no hits. He wasn't able to jump back onto the horse he had going in the game before. He had he had 3 hits on Wednesday's game, one of which was a 3-run home run, which was good. It seemed that he was finally getting the gears turning, and then obviously the soreness happened, which may have cooled him down a little bit again. So who knows? He seems to be on, but the big question is, can he stay healthy? Tyler, you're a big baseball fan. I know you hear a lot going on with Aaron Judge.
Of course.
The last full healthy season Judge played was his rookie year.
Rookie season. Yeah, it was the year we had 51 home runs and broke the home run record, and then ultimately the next year it got beaten by the panda. So
yes,
or the polar bear. What do they call him? Polar bear.
Polar bear.
So it's Panda is Pablo Sandoval. Excuse me. Aaron Judge is a beast. Let me just put it that way. He is a guy who you are always going to see on the field giving his absolute best. So I'm not surprised that he is a guy who is getting injured on a regular basis. He is like Jacoby Ellsbury in the fact that he's going at it all the time, always trying to give 110%. So yeah, I'm not surprised that he's injury prone, but it is unfortunate. You'd almost wish you could tell him, like, hey, you don't have to floor it. You are a good player. If you just play your game soundly and securely, you'll be fine. And I hope someone can get in his ear quick, because if he keeps getting these injury prone, man, he is not going to get the big contract he's looking for.
And that's true. And that's a big thing you got to consider. He's going to be done with arbitration, I think, in 2 or 3 years. By that point, he'll be, ready to have some type of free agent contract. And from what we've been seeing, free agent contracts have been unreal. And if you're Aaron Judge, you can say to yourself, all right, I'm going to get a deal somewhere, right?
And people are saving up money for Aaron Judge. It's going to be a bidding war.
Aaron Judge is staying in New York City.
I mean, we've said that about so many people over the last 100 years of baseball, and it hasn't worked out that way.
Aaron Judge is staying in New York City.
Someone clip this. AJ, you here? AJ, could you clip that real quick, please? Thank you, because I'm going to play it on next year's fucking season premiere episode, so we can fucking call Noah out. Oh, Noah, we forgot to put something in the script. We have to do our World Series picks this episode.
You're right. We'll do that at the end.
Do that at the very end.
Yes, we'll do it right after the
all right, I already know who yours is going to be, so let me just pull that picture up real quick.
Maybe I'll surprise you.
Yeah.
All right. So with that being, so we're gonna do a World Series picture, and then we'll do the winner. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We usually just pick the winner, and then we go into more depth at the end of the. At the end of the season.
Okay. So that is that on Aaron Judge. Can he stay healthy? Is the big question. I hope so. We know that the Yankees had that big problem with injuries 2 years ago in 2019, where they had to bring up all these guys like Gio Urshela, like Mike Ford, Talkman, and so on. It worked out, right? Because we found out we had really good players in our farm system. So it was like, oh, sure. Look what we have. But the biggest thing was the training staff. There might have been some types of malpractice and such that the Yankees were discussing, and they actually cleaned house with the entire training staff. So this is the first full year, like a full season, off season, then another regular season where they've had the new training staff, also with their new pitching coach, also with their athletic trainers and so on. So hopefully that can change, Aaron Judge's regimen or whatever he has going on, so that way he stays healthy and stays safe.
Yeah, absolutely. They really need to take better care of him.
That's true. I mean, that's true. I agree with that. The biggest thing is, Boone did that. I mean, he gave him 3 days off. And it's not even like he wasn't even diagnosed with anything. He just had a sore side. So he gave him 3 days off because he knew they had the off day. So at minimum, it was 2 days. But then yesterday he was like, we'll give him a third. But we'll get to those decisions later, because when I saw Boone was out of the lineup on, what was it, Friday, I knew the Yankees were going to lose. Judge, thank you. Did I say Aaron, like Aaron Boone?
You said Boone, yeah.
No, no, not Boone.
Trying to relive the glory days, huh?
All right. Oh, well, hey, we need some clutch hits right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Yankees have made a trade that shook some waves. It was weird. Rougned Odor is in pinstripes, as you can see there on your screen for people who are watching. The Yankees traded for middle infielder Odor this week. Odor had an average of 205 in 2019 with 30 home runs and an OPS of 722. Low average, but those 30 home runs I think are very attractive to the Yankees.
No, I think this is a weird pickup.
Oh, no. It's weird. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have on the script, I literally have why ? LOL. Like that's literally like my reaction to this when I saw it was like, wait, who did we pick up? Is this the guy who? My favorite thing was all over Twitter. It was, wait, is that the guy who punched Jose Bautista in the face? It's like, yes,
that's the one.
Yes, it is. Tyler, what do you think this move is about? I mean, we've been having issues with Gleyber and defense. You think it's just depth?
It's just depth. It's just to have another guy on the bench who can come in a utility position and play some ball.
I think they're going to drop Bruce.
I don't think they can afford to drop Bruce.
I think they are. I think they're going to move DJ to first. But the move everyone wants to see happen is Gleyber leave shortstop, but that's not going to happen. I think they're going to move DJ to first. They're going to put Odor at second, and they're going to toss Bruce.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. They're doing a lot of movement.
They are, because they're realizing what they're doing isn't working.
Right.
And it's good to see they're adjusting now because they literally have to. But the reason Bruce is here is because Voit is hurt. Bruce wasn't even going to make the 26.
Yeah, I know. But he's been hitting pretty decently.
It's an eye. And Odor is a lefty. So.
Right. It's a, if only this other guy was a lefty. I realized I skipped over a picture of someone else who's being moved around lately.
Domingo Hernandez, folks, as you see on your screen there, he actually was the Yankees' best starter in spring training. And then I don't know what happened, but the Yankees have optioned him to their alternate site. Following yesterday's game, the Yankees announced his first 2 starts of the season were awful. He has an ERA of 9 in only 7 innings. No alternative moves have been announced yet for the Yankees. But what do we think, Tyler, of Domingo getting the start, obviously, as the number 3 guy in the rotation? Because, as I said, he was the best starter for the Yankees in spring. And now he's getting optioned out.
Well, obviously, this is huge. This is insane. I don't think anyone saw this coming when he was signed to the number 3 or locked into the number 3 spot. We were surprised. So never mind him getting cut as abruptly as he is right now. So, I mean, good luck to you. After something like this, it doesn't look like you're going to be coming back anytime soon there, brother. So good luck to you. And we'll see if we get Domingo back in the major leagues anytime soon.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, and we saw 2 years ago it worked when they sent Chad Green. They sent Chad Green to AAA for a little while, and he came back as the best reliever in the game, right? So who knows? Maybe it'll work. Maybe it'll work again.
It could.
Herman can come back and start swinging. So who knows? But I mean, I'm looking forward to what's going on there, and I'm looking forward to hear what Tyler has to say about his boys, who are currently on top of the AL East. So Tyler, take it away for the Red Sox.
Well, of course, it is time for the AL East standings, Mr. Cross. This is quite literally a perfect flip of what happened last year. The Red Sox are on top after going 5-3. Orioles going 4-4, Rays 4-4, Blue Jays 3-5, and Yankees in last place with a 3-5 record. I'm more concerned about the Yankees, but we'll get to that in a moment when we talk about the Yankees roster. But the Red Sox, however, are at the top where they belong and where they will absolutely stay for the rest of this. No one's agreeing with me. Chat, help me, please. No, I feel like that. Yeah, no, the Red Sox are currently in a place they haven't seen in quite a while. First place of the AL East. It is definitely a nice sight right now. Dylan, thank you for coming along and backing me up there. I would love to see these Sox do well. And go Sox. Thank you, Red Sox. I don't, that enthusiasm's killing me a little bit, Axiom, but, a little bit of enthusiasm would be much appreciated. There are some guys doing really well right now for the Red Sox. Rafael Devers swinging .231. Could be better, definitely. But he does have 2 home runs right now. JD Martinez, who we mentioned earlier, is on the COVID protocol, swinging .433 with 2 dingers. Now, Noah, of those 2 guys, there are 2 guys who we have both agreed are staples in the Red Sox clubhouse. Who's the bigger impact? Is it Rafi or is it JD Martinez?
Who's the biggest impact in the Sox at the moment? Or who's going to be?
I mean, at the moment, obviously, it's JD. But would you say that, because you're a big Rafael Devers guy, would you say that for the long haul, we need him to have a better season, or we need DJ LeMahieu to have a better season?
DJ LeMahieu.
Really?
JD Martinez, you mean? You said
what did I say?
DJ LeMahieu.
Oh, I'm sorry. JD Martinez.
I know you want him over there, but no. No, Devers. I think Devers needs to have the bigger season. I think he's more of a staple. For me, JD being a left fielder and then also a DH whenever you need him to, I just feel he's kind of, you can just bounce him around a little bit. But I feel Rafi has to be good because he is your third baseman. Like, that is where you want him. That is where you need him. And he's the next guy. Like, I don't see Martinez putting asses. I mean, he puts asses in seats, but I just feel like Devers it can be the face of the Red Sox. And I want that really bad.
I mean, you've been saying it for the last 2 years that you think he could be, and he is becoming that guy. He's becoming the guy who people are referencing as a staple of the Red Sox. So I'm happy to see it. There's another guy, Mr. Dahlbeck, who has been good in spring. He's been good in the season. Bobby Dahlbeck last night actually tied the game, Noah, in the 9th inning by beating out a double play. He was sprinting down the first baseline and just barely beat out a double play to plate the tying run. And then the Red Sox would end up winning it in the 10th inning. I have a real belief that this man right here might get Rookie of the Year. If he can get past the man we were talking about earlier in the show, Mr. Mercedes, and just start putting on a clinic, I think that's not too far-fetched.
I can see it. No, for sure. I mean, he's been swinging a hot bat, and I think the biggest thing, he's been swinging a hot bat, and no one said he was going to. Like, no one was like, "Oh, this guy's going to be the next great
now,
thing."
We knew Bobby was a good player. He had a few appearances last season when the Red Sox weren't doing all that hot, so they brought the farm in. But other than that, there's really not much to report on the Red Sox other than they're playing good ball. Before yesterday, and the 3 games before that, Noah, they had an average score of 8 runs in the previous 3 games. They were absolutely showing up and just beating the hell out of the Rays. They swept the Rays, and now they're looking to sweep the Orioles. After getting swept by the Orioles to start the season, they have definitely turned it around as of late. It's only been 8 games. The Red Sox are looking good. If they can keep this kind of pace, the postseason doesn't look too hard to reach.
If they can keep this pace, we played 8 baseball games.
Great, but we're over 500 by a good percentile. So if they can keep it moving in the direction they're moving, listen, if the Yankees keep it moving, and I know you're about to ream the Yankees, you guys aren't going to even sniff the damn postseason.
No, I agree. So, put the standings back up for just 2 seconds, please.
Yeah, you got it. Hold on. That's right here. There you go.
They're 2 games back. The Orioles are a game back. Like, it's just early. And I'm just saying, I think in the next month, the AL East is going to look a lot like what everyone said.
Look at this. I get it. It's only been 8 games, but look at the next section over, the win percentile. If it stays like that, if that is the projected winning for these teams, I mean, the Red Sox are obviously looking great.
Which is crazy. And as Dylan said, what a crazy turnaround. I agree 100%. So, no, I was not expecting anything to look like this, nor was anyone expecting the season to start like this. But the question is, will it end like this?
Will it end like this?
I think as of right now, yes, because I don't know what is happening in New York. Not a clue.
New York is having a
something just seems off with the Yankees. Like, and that's serious. In all seriousness, they just don't seem.
Go ahead. You take it away.
They just don't seem right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what they're doing. They lost an opening day. They won game 2 and 3, and then now they've been on a downward spiral since. Judge getting injured and so on. Their pitchers getting optioned out of the organization and the team and so on. So I'm just confused. The last 2 losses were to the Rays. Friday was a 10-5 loss, and the loss went to Kluber. And then on Saturday, it was a 4-0 loss, and the loss went to Herman. So that first game there, the Yankees did manage to push across 5 runs. But the problem was they let up 10. So that didn't help. All right. The next day, where 5 runs would have been amazing, they couldn't push across anything. And they only gave up 4. So I have no idea what's going on in that department. It just seems like the Yankees don't do what they need to when they need to. And so far, because they've left so many men on base. Their first game of the season, they could have won literally twice. They had the bases loaded and no outs more than once, and they botched it, blew it, couldn't do anything. A few notables for the Yankees have been Judge. He's swinging 256 with a homer. DJ is 313 with the homer batting average. Garrett Cole is 1-0 with an ERA of 1.46 with 21 strikeouts already. So damn, that's a lot. So he's been as advertised. Jameson Tyone made his first start. That was a big question mark. He went 4 innings, allowing 2 runs with 7 strikeouts. That's a lot of strikeouts for 4 innings. I mean, he had the K's going. The problem was he was throwing the ball too close to the center of the strike zone, and he got
he gave him a lot of hits.
2 home runs. That was the problem, and it was Yankee Stadium. So, and then I'm pretty sure the 2 home runs were lefties. Both went to right field. So he just is getting used to pitching in New York at the moment. Kluber has an ERA of 5.68 with 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Not as amazing as everyone would hope he would be, but again, he's getting there. The pitching rotation has been okay, I think is the best way to put it. Obviously, Garrett Cole's doing his job. Tyone seems to be ready to go. Kluber seems to be trying to get into the form he used to be in. Jordan Montgomery, though, has been the real story here, folks. His first start of the season was an absolute gem where he pitched 6 scoreless innings with 7 strikeouts in his first start of the season. He's starting again today for the second time, so we'll see if he can keep that momentum going. And if there were a time for Montgomery to have a good start, it would be today because the Yankees need it. They need to trying to get back into the swing of things. They're trying to just take this game here and not get swept by the Rays. So we'll see what Montgomery can do. Looking forward to him hopefully giving me some good points there in fantasy so I can get over Courtney.
Yeah, right. You're getting close.
Yeah, I had a lead for a little bit. I'm only back by 3 points right now. It's wild. But the biggest thing with the Yankees is, as I said, and again, everyone said, "Oh, we've only played 8 games and blah blah blah." Yes, we've only played 8 games. These have been issues that we've been having for the last 2 years,
and these are also divisional games, so they're big.
Yes, this is a big deal. Like you can't lose to the Blue Jays, you can't be losing to the Orioles, you can't be losing to the Rays, and that's what they're doing. They just lost 2 to the Rays, and they lost terribly to the Rays. Absolutely terrible. Like we already know the Yankees can't play at the Trop. That's fine. I hate that ballpark with a passion. But
if you're getting beat in your home stadium by them, that's not great.
You got to beat these teams. And that's plain and simple. And as I said, we've been having these issues for the last 2 years to where men on base and nothing. One of the box scores, the box score for Friday's game with the Yankees. The Yankees accumulated 13 hits and scored 2 runs. To where their opponents accumulated 4 hits and scored 4 runs.
That's like the former Red Sox. That was what the Red Sox were doing.
Yes, that's the problem. Like it's great. It seems like the Yankees are managing to get the wood on the ball. They're managing to get the ball into the outfield and get it on the grass so they can get a hit or 2. But now it seems to be one of those things where they can't bring anybody in. Like they're really just missing the big hit, and that's literally what's happening. Is they get all these guys on. They've had the bases loaded and no outs at least 3 times in the last week, and each of those times they have not been able to drive a run in. I think they've driven in 1 run out of those 3 opportunities.
Gosh.
So in 13 hits and you're pushing across 2 runs, meanwhile your opponents have 4 hits and they're pushing across all 4. That's a problem. And it's not like it's just happening now. This has been a thing with the Yankees for the last 2 years. There's consistent issues that are not being addressed. There's consistent issues with, for example, shortstop Gleyber Torres. He's made 2 costly errors already. He gave one of the errors was during Garrett Cole start. It was one of the reasons they got that lost. The other error was in an extra innings game the Yankees ultimately ended up losing to the Blue Jays. It was the last game of that set where Chad Green, they had the runner on second. The runner managed to get to third. Green got the strikeout, and then the ground ball to Gleyber right in front of him. Wasn't even running to his right or left, straight to him. Couldn't get the ball to first base to Jay Bruce. Hit the dirt, bounced behind him, run scores. Yankees go on to lose that game. They did tie it eventually, but they still lost. So it's just one of those things where it's like, come on, what's going on here? It's the same problems. It's just a different day. And there's a lot to address in New York and a lot to figure out. We've talked about how they've been moving things around. They optioned Herman. They traded for Odor. I think they're going to drop Bruce and move DJ over to first base to really solidify the defense there. But at what point are we going to really try and address what are we doing? Because they've been using this same formula and the same game plan. This was the team that was supposed to win the World Series 2 years ago.
Right.
And here we are 2 years later with the same problems. The same question marks surrounding the pitching rotation, the same question marks surrounding why we can't get that big hit, and the same question marks with what's going on in the infield, the same question marks with what's going on in the front office and these decisions we're making, the same question marks with why are we not trying to pick up this guy or that guy. So there's a lot going on in New York. There's a lot of question marks still, especially the question mark of what is going on. Because
you know what question mark I want answered, Noah?
Which one's that?
Are the Yankees still your pick to win the World Series in 2021 after all of this criticism you've given them? Let me write a title for this real quick. But yeah, go ahead and talk about it.
It's tough. I think the biggest thing is with the Yankees right now, obviously no, because they're playing abysmally. Baseball is a long season though. And I'm going to go back to the 2019 World Series when the Washington Nationals lost their first 20 games of the season in a row.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning in Game 7 against the Astros in Houston. And all of baseball, with the exception of Houston, Texas, was elated. And I was one of them. Like, you would have thought I was a lifelong Nationals fan.
Yeah.
So with that being said, no, I'm not changing my pick. I'm keeping the New York Yankees as your 2021 World Series champions, number 28. We're finally going to get to do that. I'm finally going to go to a World Series parade. I'm finally going to get to buy a T-shirt that says New York Yankees World Series champions. And I'm excited to do that. So, no, baseball's a long game. It ain't over till it's over. They played 8 games of 162. Literally anything can happen. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah. You know, this last week has really, we usually do it a little bit earlier than we do. We would have done these picks last week, but it was Easter Sunday, so we had taken the week off. And I've had a little time to reflect because at the end of last season, we made picks. And you picked the Yankees, of course. I picked the Chicago White Sox right off the bat. If you ask me right now, that was a pretty decent pick. They're looking okay. The White Sox are playing well right now. But I've had a change of heart, Noah.
Ooh.
I've had a change of heart. I'm not sticking with them. I'm going with these guys. The San Diego Padres are going to be your World Series champions.
Can I just
in
say,
2021.
Last week on the show, I said that you were going to pick the Padres.
Yeah, no, I remember you calling that. And I was just like, don't at me, Noah. I was listening to you saying that as I was driving home, and I had the podcast on my radio. So I heard you talking about it. But I think they are one of the hottest teams in baseball. They've done the most out of any team, and they're already having moments like this where they're pitching no-hitters. They're already making history.
And by the way, that's not even like Joe Musgrove threw the no-hitter. Like they still have Darvish and Snell.
Right.
That's wild.
They have 2 more pitchers who can come in here and have phenomenal seasons. They could have potentially 3 different Cy Young winners pitching on that team right now, which is absolutely insane. So you heard it here first, folks. I am taking the San Diego Padres to win the World Series. And last year, I was closer than Noah was in picking the Tampa Bay Rays. So here's hoping that the San Diego Padres keep my dream alive. And I ain't even just picking them to win the World Series, Noah. They're winning the damn division. And they are going to knock the Dodgers off of their pedestal. You know who they're playing in the World Series too? Do you want to know who the Padres are playing? It's the Yankees. So we're going to have a Padres-Yankees World Series.
I like it.
It's either going to be the Yankees or the Houston Astros. But I am picking the Yankees to be the team that makes it to the World Series this year.
Love it. Well, there you have it, folks. You have Tyler Noah's World Series picks early on, week number 1.5, as we'll call it. Our World Series picks for this season. Tyler got the Padres. Noah got the Yankees. But the best part is we both have them going to the World Series, because I'll agree with you there. I think the Padres are going to make it too. Forget it. I'll go with it. I don't care. I like the Padres. I like Machado.
Yankees, Padres, both of us, huh? All right.
I'm in.
Let's do it.
Okay, the smart man in me would say the Dodgers. But I like the idea of the Padres winning the division, so I'm in. If you love podcasts, make sure you visit clovercrestmedia.com for a wide selection of great shows covering sports, business, relationships, pop culture, politics, and true crime. There are over 28 shows on the hashtag CMG Network, and if you don't find one you like, you can start one of your own. We can help you launch your podcast for as little as $15 per month. ClovercrestMedia.com is the website to visit. Make sure you check it out and tell your friends all about it. You can visit ClovercrestMedia.com and click on the link for the latest on your favorite CMG Sports podcast, as well as blogs, videos, and latest information. So
and Noah, before we leave, everyone who is with us live currently, make sure you stick around, because in just a few minutes on the channel, we will be going live with the Cross'em Wrestling Entertainment Podcast. You do not want to miss the action that happened on this week's episode.
Don't want to miss that. Make sure you check out today's games. We got the Yankees and the Rays at 1, the Red Sox and the Orioles at 1. You have the Mets taking on the Marlins at 1 o'clock as well. So lots of baseball all day. I think there's 5 games at 1. There's about 6. There's 3 games at 2, and then there's 4 games at 4 o'clock. Lots of baseball on a beautiful Sunday. Can't wait to get into that. So we'll see you on Cross'em. We'll see you for baseball, and you should go watch night 2 of WrestleMania. With that being said, I'm your host, Noah Cross. That's my best friend, Tyler Bard, and you have been listening and watching Baseball with the Bard. We'll see you next time.
Time for Baseball with the Bard.